Good afternoon, everyone. This is Roger with Ready, Set, Grow, and I'm going to be conducting the webinar today on basic navigation of the online DSC system, as well as how to enter child data. I'd like to welcome you all back to this, one of our last webinars of this opening season. Ready, Set, Grow is the developer and support team of the online DSC. So what we're going to do today is just take a look at how to navigate inside the system, as well as how to do some very basic startup data entry. If you have questions at any time, please use the raise your hand option, or you may type me a question and I will try to present, or I'll try to answer that question as we go along. To access the system, you should be going to onlinedsc.net. You have to be using Internet Explorer as your web browser. Put in k.onlinedsc.net in the address bar, and that will take you to our portal page. This portal page is kind of the opening step to accessing all of the system, as well as seeing everything that's going on for your kindergarten DSC program. On this home portal page, you will have a calendar that will list upcoming events, links to the various webinars and downloads, as well as any important information that you need to be made aware of. You can access all of that information through this website. All of these webinars are being recorded and are being posted here on the website under the tutorial section over here on the left. From the tutorial section, you'll be able to see the various webinars that have been recorded. This webinar today will be posted probably within the next day or so, as soon as we can make it available. To access the online DSC, you should click the Log into DSC button. For training purposes, I'm actually going to access my training site. This will bring you to the login page. Using your individual user ID and password, you can log into the system. Once you have accessed the system, the main way that we move around inside the DSC is using the navigation buttons on the left. Clicking the different buttons will take us to different places and allow us to do different things. For example, clicking the Classroom button will allow us to come back to our classroom roster so that we can see the list of all of our children. The Assign Children functionality is something that is restricted to administrators that will allow them to move children between classrooms. Once a child has been entered into the system, that child's record stays in the system. So if that child transfers between classrooms, they can be assigned into the new classroom, and all of their associated data will follow with them. All of their assessments will stay with that individual child. The Child button allows us to search for individual children if we want to see if they are entered in the system already before we try to enter them. It also enables us to record anecdotal notes and observations on our children. The Assessments button is where you go to do assessments. The Reports button is where you go to do reports, and the Admin Setup button is where administrators, your parish and district administrators, would go to do some more administrative level things. If you are signed in as a classroom teacher, that Admin Setup button will not even appear. Another trick or way to navigate the system is by clicking on the links. By clicking on the name of your district or school site or classroom, it will take you into that place, into that link. By clicking on the options, I'm able to select the classroom at my school where I enter my children. To add new children, simply click the Add New button down here at the bottom center of your screen. When you click that New button, it will take me to a child entry page. Simply type in the information in each of the boxes. The Tab key on your computer keyboard will quickly move you between boxes. Any field that has a red asterisk next to it is required. You have to put something in that box for the system to save. If you leave information empty, the system will prompt you to complete that data. When entering dates, you should enter the days, a slash or a dash, the months, the slash or a dash, the days, a slash or a dash, and then all 4 digits of the year. You cannot simply put in 07. You will need to put in 2007 if the child was born in 2007. For gender and language, simply select from the list, from the drop-down list. Select yes or no for if the child is Hispanic or Latino, and then select the race. The race option allows you to make multiple selections if your child is multiracial. Select yes or no for the child's IEP status. If the child has an IEP, select yes, and you will have the option to include the child's disability. Enter the child's state ID number. This is critical. The state ID number is what allows us to track children as they move throughout the system. It also helps to prevent any potential duplicates. The child's ID number should be the child's social security number. You should enter that number with no slashes, no dashes, no dots, no spaces, just the numbers. Enter the enrollment date for the child, typically the first day of the school year. And then save. When you save your work, it'll return you back to the classroom roster, and the child that we've just added will be displayed in the list. To work with an individual child, simply click on the name of the child from the classroom roster. This will highlight the child's name, display it in the top banner. If you need to review or make any changes to the child's record, click the child in question and click the Edit button. From here, you can make any changes as needed. Just remember to save your work when you're finished. That'll bring us back to the roster. The child's record will be saved. To enter an assessment for an individual child, simply select the child that you wish to enter the assessment for and select the Assessments button. To add the assessment, click the Add button. You will select the fall reporting period. Every child who is a first-time kindergarten student should be screened, should be assessed in the fall. You are not required to complete winter or spring assessments, but you should be completing fall. Additionally, all children who are first-time kindergarten students should be screened. Any children that have been retained and are repeating kindergarten, you should not be screening their information and adding it into this system. Repeating children should not be included in this system. To enter the date for your assessment, and this is the date that the assessment was completed, not necessarily the date that you are entering it into the system. Click the Date option. You can then select the date that your assessment was completed, save it, and you can apply it to all of the sections. For the kindergarten program, you should be completing all sections of the DSC except for social emotional. You can enter the social emotional section, but you are not required to do so. Select and continue your selection, and the date will be applied to all of the sections. To begin entering your assessment, simply click the Next button, and you will be taken in to the first item for the first selected section of the DSC. To score your assessments, you will be scoring either O for observed or U for unobserved. As soon as you score an item, your score will be recorded down here in the bottom, and you will be moved to the next item in sequence. Simply score your item as you recorded the assessment on paper, and the system will move you right through item by item. If you accidentally score an item incorrectly and you need to change your score, simply click on the item number in the bottom section of the screen. That will make that item your active item again. To change the score, simply select the other scoring button. That will save your work and move you to the next item in sequence. When you score the final item in a section, a message will be displayed that tells you that the section is complete, and you may click the Done button to save this section. When you click the Done button, this section will be saved and you are moved to the next section. If you are interrupted and need to stop entering, you can cancel. It will not save the section that you are currently in. However, any previously completed assessments sections are automatically saved. Every time you click the Done button in the section, that section is saved. When you are ready to move on to another child, you can either select your classroom and go back to your classroom roster, select another child, and come back to assessments, or you may click on the Child button and select a different child from the drop-down list available. All children currently enrolled in your classroom will be displayed in this drop-down list. Okay. Are there any questions out there? If you have a question, you can raise your hand in the webinar panel. I'll try and I'll be able to I'll call out your name, and then you can call out your question if you have a question. Let's see, I've got a hand raised someplace. Penny, do you have a question?
Yes. Can you move a student from another school to your school if they've already been assessed?
The question was, can you move a student to your school from another school? District administrators or the technical support team here at Ready, Set, Grow can help you move children between classrooms and schools. From the classroom option, we can assign children. Your administrators can search for that child, find an individual child, and assign them in. If that child had an assessment, all of their historical information follows them. So I can see here that Mr. Allen came over and he had an assessment that was completed back earlier in August. That assigning children functionality is restricted to administrators, and but again, those of us here at Ready, Set, Grow on the technical support team can help you out. Bossier Elementary, do you have a question? let's see, maybe that's what you typed in. How do we find out the login of all teachers? The question was, how do we find out the logins for the teachers? The district test coordinators were all sent a spreadsheet. You should be creating your individual user accounts, the login IDs and passwords, and this spreadsheet will allow us to get your classroom set up. If you have not yet submitted these spreadsheets, the sooner we get them back from you, the sooner we're able to get your classroom set up to get your teachers added. If you have not received this spreadsheet, or if it got sent to the wrong person, please contact us up here at Ready, Set, Grow so that we can get you your needed information. To contact us here at Ready, Set, Grow, which actually enables me to move and show you something that I wanted to show you anyway, off of the portal page, under the training and support, you can select Contact Technical Support. Our phone number is listed here. Additionally, you can complete the online technical support form. That will send us an email and we'll reply back to your email. And there are some parishes for which we have not yet received those spreadsheets that set up the accounts. So if you have not been given, any of my teachers out there, if you have not yet gotten your login, please reach out to your district test coordinator or let us know up here so that we can reach out and we can get you this information so that we can get this taken care of as quickly as possible. Let's see, I've got another hand up someplace. Patsy English, do you have a question? If you do not have a microphone or a headset attached to your computer, you may have to type in your question. All right, I'm not seeing any more questions or any more hands coming up, but if you don't have a question or you think of a question later, please feel free to reach out to us by calling our technical support hotline here, or you can send us an email and we'll get you taken care of. Thank you very much, folks. I hope you all have a good day. Stay dry down there. Bye-bye now.